All right, welcome back to Off the Bench. I'm Tom Brennaman, and look, this is our very first show, right? So you start wrestling around and talking to Brandon and Casey, who are we going to have on, and Trace and Reed and all Paul, all the guys, all Sean, everybody. Who are we going to have on first? And it was a landslide. You got to have the Hall of Famer who just happens to be my dad, Marty Brennaman. Welcome to the show. You're the first official guest, and I am thrilled that it's you. How you doing?
Tom, you're no more thrilled than I am. I think it's an honor for me to be asked as the first guest on your program, which I hope has a long and legendary and successful run. But at the same time, I'm not stupid. I'm sure that there were bigger names than me that, for whatever the reason, couldn't do it. So you turn to the old man who's retired, more time on his hands, and he can find something to do with.
Did you say retired or tired?
Well, you can put retired and then a slash line and tired after. Because my actor's really gotten tired over the years.
Well, I want to ask you, and it's funny. This happens to me at least 2 or 3 times a week. And I'm being serious here for a second. I'll have people come up to me and they'll say, "Hey, how's your dad doing?" "Oh, Dad's doing great." The next question is always, does he miss broadcasting games? Is he enjoying retirement? What's the answer?
The answer is an unequivocal no. I do not miss it. I have never missed it from the day that I made the announcement in January of 2019 that was going to be my last year. And I've really viewed this as a chapter in my life that I turned the page on for the final time. I've been to 2 games all year. I keep up with them and know the goings and comings. I'm not on the quote inside as I once was for so long, but I don't miss it at all. In fact, I tell people, I was in Kroger yesterday and a lady said something to me about it similar to what you said, and I said, quite frankly, had I known retirement was going to be as good as it has been, I would have done it sooner.
So you mean to tell me and tell everybody watching that I mean, really, I mean this question.
I know that.
If you turn on a game or you're driving down the road and you click on the radio and they're on, there's never a situation, a time, a moment, fleeting perhaps, albeit, where you're saying, man, that'd be kind of cool to be in there tonight.
Not one time. Honest to goodness, as I'm sitting here talking to you on your debut show, that has never occurred to me. I've had people say to me, "Why don't you come back and do 5 or 6 or 8 games a month, just to keep your hand in it?" I've said to people, folks, I've done my last baseball game. I will never broadcast a baseball game again for the rest of my life, and that in no way does it minimize my job and the great years I spent with this organization here in Cincinnati. Nobody had a better job than I did. Not only the baseball, but doing the NCAA basketball tournament for our good friend Jim Host down in Lexington, doing the Final Four 11 times, way back doing college football at William & Mary and Virginia Tech. I loved it all. I loved it all. My first job in Salisbury, which you remember well, when you and Dawn were little, and working with the Catawba College football and basketball programs and American Legion baseball and high school football and basketball. I loved it all. It was a fulfillment of a dream for me to be a play-by-play guy, not a studio sports guy, but a play-by-play guy. But I've done that now. That's over with. And I thank God I retired when I was healthy. Thank God for Amanda, because she will not allow me to sit around and do nothing. And I could not be happier, and I have not missed it one single bit.
You just celebrated your 80th birthday, and you guys had a chance to go on a great trip over to Ireland. People say, "Oh, what's he doing with his time?" You doing a lot of traveling, playing some golf, hanging out with your wife, hanging out with your grandkids. Very little time with your son, but hanging out with your grandkids and that kind of thing.
Well, you're not playing ball anymore. I mean, I like to go. Nobody was going to watch Luke play lacrosse, and I'm awed by the talents that he possesses, because the Brennaman family has been known for a lot of things over the years, but athletic ability ain't one of them. And so to live vicariously through him and watch him be all state as a goalie at Marymount High School, and And I think coming up his senior year, he could well be All-American. It's been a thrill for me. But yes, the trip to Ireland was great. We played 6 golf courses over there. It's my second time in Ireland. I'm a big fan. I love the people. I love the country. I love the history that evolves around the British Isles. I'm shocked that people in Ireland don't die from starvation because the food is brutal. It is not good.
Well, we have a little surprise for you here today, Dad. Can you take a look at who's sitting next to me right here? And your good friend and mine, Tracy Jones, who's going to be a regular part of the program as well.
You got anything to say, Marty?
Tracy, nice to see you for the second day in a row. And once again, I'm awed by the fact that you could take him off this TV set right now and put him on the cover of Gentleman's Quarterly. I mean,
you know what you need to do is upgrade your internet, because you're jerking around like this all the time. It doesn't look real good.
No, that's me from being 80 years old, clown. That's what happens when you get to be 80. You get the shakes every now and then.
Did you tell me, Tracy, that he doesn't like you ever complimenting him?
He doesn't like compliments. He likes to be criticized. I got on the other day. He said Eddie Haskell. If you ever watch Leave It to Beaver, right?
Yeah, I remember.
You know, good evening, Mrs. Cleaver, that kind of stuff.
Right.
He's always, every time I see Marty, he's kissing babies, shaking hands. Yep. I mean, really, you got that many friends? Let me tell you something. In your life, you'll only have 5 friends. I'm a good friend. You know why? Because I make you money. If I didn't make you money, you wouldn't be my friend. How about that?
That's not true. And if that were true,
then
it would be a real deal. You get down on your knees and kiss my feet every day because I make you money.
Oh, hold on. That shows nothing without me. That's why it's Jones and Brennaman on baseball. Let's get that straight.
Baseball. There's no question at all about that. And we've had a lot of laughs over the 6 years that we've programmed. It is 6 years, isn't it?
It's actually 23 years. And Marty, you got to tell a story, because we did a show last year, and Marty thought we had been together for 6 years, and he was serious. And I had to correct you and say that it was 23 years on the radio that we've been together. And I could do this forever. I mean, I really enjoy working with you. The thing about you
kissing up to him on the show.
I
brought you in here.
I know,
to surprise him. Not for kissing ass within 10 minutes of being on.
The thing with Marty is he makes you, when I'm stumbling around and, I've had a lot of concussions.
Does he come up with all the topics, or do you have any input on it?
Well, he comes up with the old stale topics,
Tired.
What about Joey Votto's swing or something like that? The funny ones, that's me. I'm the one with the thought process as far as making the show a little funny. You would say that, wouldn't you, Marty?
He is so full of crap, it's unbelievable. He does come up with his share of topics, but you're looking at the grand old man of subject matter for that radio show.
So do you walk in, is the way it works, because people ask me about this all the time, too, because they love the show. Brennaman and Jones, you said Jones and Brennan, forgive me, on baseball that runs on the radio every day here in Cincinnati on WLW. Is the program you walk in with like a legal pad full of stuff you're going to talk about, and then you just run it by Tracy, or do you tell them ahead of time, or do you want the off-the-cuff stuff and you just let it rip?
Well, we come up with topics, and let's say we taped yesterday. So Sunday night, I send him the list of topics via a text message, and if he has any concerns or questions, we'll talk on the phone. And then a lot of the shows, I think people realize that we fly by the seat of our pants. We have the topic, and then whatever comes out, comes out. When we are serious, which is not very often, and do a show pertaining to a player or pertaining to an era of baseball or whatever the case might be, then we'll both do research on it. So we'll have some accurate numbers of that type. But no, we'll have a topic, and then we'll just run with it. And sometimes I get a little bit concerned about the direction he's taking that topic in.
I was just going to bring that up. You got mad at me. You got mad at me last week. And
what happened?
Well, I started bringing up politics. Okay. I like Trump.
Yep.
I think we need to secure the border.
Yep.
I don't think we need to send billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine.
Right.
I like safe streets.
Right.
I don't like inflation. I
Right.
start talking politics, and this
You
guy.
are a financial guy too. By
I
the
am
way.
I have a financial advisor, Series 7, registered investment advisor. I have
You
a
make
lot of
anybody
stuff.
any money? By the way, I don't mean to interrupt your train of
Market
thought,
is
but-
tough. The market is
Okay,
tough.
we'll get to that
Yeah.
another time. But please
But-
go
but-
ahead.
but I
I want to hear
just-
this. So
I
you're talking
brought up-
politics, and what happened?
Right. I brought up politics, and Marty kind of directed me and said, we don't need to talk about politics on this show. And of course, he is the Hall of Famer. I respect
Can
him.
I
So I will not
Can
bring
I
up
say-
politics anymore.
back when I was working at broadcasting baseball, and people that know me know I'm not a union guy. God bless all you folks that are. I'm not. I've had to belong to a union while I've been working in Cincinnati to broadcast baseball. Union hasn't done a damn thing for me in all the years that I was having to pay upwards of $1,000 a year to be a member. And I brought up unions at one point during a broadcast. This is 20 years ago. And I got all kinds of mail saying, we don't really care what you think about
Right.
unions. You're not paid to talk about unions. We ain't paid to talk about politics. And so that's the reason why I had something to say about it.
Were you actually mad at him, or you just thought, "Hey, let's move on here. I'm tired of this"?
Oh, no. I would get mad at him. I mean, I get mad at him enough because every now and then, shockingly, he will say something stupid that I have to.
See, you say that.
but
That
it-
hurts my feelings.
It would.
It
You
really
said that, but see, here's what you don't understand, Tracy. I have heard that stuff for 58 years. You've heard it. What did you just say? 23?
23.
How many times do you think I've heard? Oh, God. Are you ever going to do anything that's not stupid?
Oh, see, he
See?
does that. And I got to tell you, I think Marty doesn't come down on me because he's really proud of me. He's proud that he thinks of me as another son.
I think he does.
He thinks of me as the major league son he
Yep.
never had.
Yep.
I mean, you're all right. You've had a decent career.
Okay, fair.
You know,
Well, they went in the tank, but
no,
it-
you're still one of the
we're
best.
working on getting it back
yeah, let's
upward.
stop,
Right.
let's stop apologizing.
Right.
First of
No,
all,
no,
that
we're not.
won't
So go ahead,
group-
go ahead.
Yeah. So I just think Marty always takes a seat back anytime it starts to get a little edgy, and because he respects me. He knows that I played for 5 major league teams, which, you know, if you think about it, you have a better chance you hit a lottery than you do 5 major
There's
league teams.
no doubt. And
That
I
says a
have
lot.
to tell you, and one thing I noticed when I listen to your show that actually troubles me deeply, because I remember when you were coming up to the big leagues, okay, and that whole fleet of guys of your buddy Cal Daniels and Paul O'Neill and Barry Larkin and Eric Davis, you were part of that whole group.
Yep, the crown jewels.
Who was the number 3 hole hitter on all those minor league teams coming up? Was it Eric Davis?
No, it wasn't.
Was it Barry Larkin?
No, it wasn't.
Was it Paul O'Neill?
No, Paul was on the bench. Who
Was
was it, Marty? Marty?
It was Tracy Jones.
Got that right. You got that right. Boy, things can come down fast. Can't they, Tom?
Well, you know, this show is just starting today, and I have a feeling it's about to go straight in the tank.
Why does this
We've been
guy
talking about unions. We've been talking
Yeah.
about Trump, and this is day one. This is segment 3 of day 1,
Yeah.
and Chatterbox is about to completely explode, and I'm about to go round 2 on a career collision.
You better
Thanks
be careful.
to you 2 clowns.
You better be careful.
All right, it's going to be fun having you guys on all the time. I can't thank you enough. Trace, you're
Thank
the
you,
man.
Tom. Thank you.
Dad, I love you.
Yes, sir.
Marty,
I
you
love
look
you too,
good.
pal.
You look good. You're 80, but you look 79.
Do you like his wardrobe before we go overall? Because he's got a lot of nice clothes.
That guy in a sweatsuit?
That's
Oh, you're talking
one
about
thing he
me.
doesn't have. That's one thing he doesn't have.
Well, let's get your internet upgraded, will you please?
I will.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Thanks, my man.
Thank you, Tom.
All right. We're back in a minute.